Hello there, Sev from 17 once again, bringing you the second part to the first chapter of my Killzone 3 Elite Difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the ending part of Evacuation Order. And I will say one thing when it comes to doing commentary, it's a lot more difficult than you'd think it would be. I was one of those guys that, when I watched people commentate on videos on YouTube and on various other sites, I always thought, oh, anybody could do that, I could do that all fucking day, piece of piss, because I'm a pretty gobby guy when it comes down to it. I do like to talk, and I'm opinionated, so I've generally always got something to say, even if it's either offensive or bad taste. And when it comes to sitting down and actually doing it, it's a lot different to what you think it would be, and it's a lot more challenging. So for anybody that does it, and anybody that does it well, you've got, you know, my full respect, because this is something I thought I would walk into and do naturally, and maybe some people think I do, but personally I still find it difficult, and I probably should start taking a list before I do these, because there's so many things I mean to say in the videos, and then I'll just get off on a tear about a developer I don't like, or an option in the game that pisses me off, or some way I would, you know, change something I don't like, and I never mention what I mean to mention. So a management problem on my point, and just, you know, personal flaws maybe, I don't know, maybe you prefer it that way because it's funnier, or however it's, you know, taken. But right now this is a pretty bullshit section. Straight in front of you here, where there's that little break in the wall where that dude dropped down, enemies are going to spawn from that point. And if you don't push this area, I think it's an endless spawn, because I was stood here throwing grenades and refilling them from that ammo cache for quite some time, and it never ever, you know, went to the next section. It never stopped coming. So the most effective way to do this section is just to rush it, like you've just seen me do. Push forward. When you get to using the detonator, run back to where you spawned in, and then detonate it there so nobody rushes you, and then you can clean guys up. And on this section right now, there's two guys through that area, and I'm trying to get them with the grenades because I don't want to be instant killed, and that can happen sometimes. They can die on you so fast at close range. And I'm being a bit fancy, and the reason for it is his head is poking over that wall, but I can't get a good shot on it, and I decide, you know, just balls to this and go over, and it's a lot easier, so I should have done that from the start. But speaking of things that I should say and I forget to say, I'm probably going to use that time right now to say a couple of them. And one of them is Elite Difficulty takes away your aimer. And for a lot of people this is going to probably bug a large percentage of people. And me personally, it doesn't bother me too much. The only times on this game where it bothers me is on the on-rail sections, where there are moments where you have a couple of seconds to kill a couple of enemies, and if you don't do it perfectly, you die. And you die a lot, because without an aimer, even with an aimer, it's frustrating and it's challenging because it's not the most fluid of game mechanic. But without an aimer, it becomes even more difficult because it's hard to judge where the aimer is, because it's not conventional at all, and it's a big pain in the ass. And a good way of countering this is not to stick things on your TV like a fucking retard, which is just hilarious for anybody that's still doing that. But when you first play the game, regardless of difficulty, be it on easy, be it on normal, be it on hard or veteran or whatever, which I started on veteran, and elite wasn't that big of a jump up from veteran, truth be told. I didn't see much difference, aside from grenade spammage. The Helghast throw a lot more grenades, I found. But the best thing to do is go into the options, go into your display, and turn the crosshair off. And you're probably thinking, well, why would I want to do it when I've got to do it anyway on elite? And the reason for it is, if you can get comfortable with not having the aimer, you will get used to throwing grenades without a crosshair. You will get used to using light machine guns without a crosshair. You'll get used to using turrets without a crosshair. And the better and more used to something you are, the easier it will be. And that is one of the best pieces of advice I can give you, because I did it, and when I went on to elite, I didn't even realise I didn't have a crosshair. It was just something I was used to, because it's how I played the game. And that is the biggest tip I could give anybody. And it will help you significantly through the game. So look at this. Another tip as well is whenever you're on, you know, using a light machine gun or anything like that, or on a turret, don't aim in. The reason I say don't aim in is because there's a delay between aiming in and firing. And what will happen is, for instance, if you're turning a corner with a light machine gun and you aim in and go to fire, there's about a 2-second delay before the gun will start shooting. If you fire from the hip, there's no delay. And in all honesty, it's probably easier to do so, because when you aim in, it just throws off the aim you've already got. So that's definitely a good strategy to use. But let's look at this. So Obviously, abuse the ammo crates because that's what they're for. If you keep using them, it will make the game significantly easier. And this is an interesting little spot that I found. If you jump up onto this rubble here, you can see into that building where the rocket launcher guys keep spawning. And you can take advantage of the fact there's a crate behind you and none of them can really see you, and you could just stand here, spray dudes, and kill a lot of people. And the key to beating this section of the bridge is the faster you can push through it, the less chance you give the enemies to spawn. And when they're not spawning, it's a lot clearer, so you can move through it a lot quicker. And that's basically all you want to be doing here. You want to clean up as many as you can, push forward, which will then force the tanks to push forward, and then use the tanks as cover. Something else to note, you can't jump shot on this game, and it bugs the dick off me. So when you jump, you better hope that there's no Helghast in your face, because if there is, you're going to die because you can't even use your gun. He just jumps, and he waits for the full jump animation to finish before he throws his gun back up. And those few seconds of you jumping in the air and landing and not having a gun can be seconds where you will die, so you want to be ever so careful with it. Guns I would personally prefer to use. I would always try and have a good heavy weapon with you because they seem to be the most effective gun. As far as the assault rifles go, I don't really like the ISA rifle, I don't really like the Helghast rifle, and I swore by it on the demo because it did some work for me. The gun that I would try and use is the STA-15, I think it's called. It's the same rifle as the sniper rifle, it just doesn't do as much damage, and it's got a less telescopic zoom on it. But the luxury of the gun is, if you hit people in the head, there is a chance that it will pop the head, and you can hit people from a much better distance than you can with any other rifle. Be warned though, it is one of those guns where you will be shooting on a guy, you'll have the aimer bang on him, and for whatever reason the bullet won't hit. And it does that a lot, because it's got a little bit of ambient sway, and it seems to just, you know, take away from what the gun could be. But that's the end of Evacuation Order. I hope it helped, guys. I hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next chapter. You take care now.